was introduced as a friendly and nice person, but I'm afraid to have to disappoint you. I'm not at all, but I'm here to talk about making friends. The thing is, my business is branding of places, branding of destinations. So I'm in a competition with witty people that want to make fun of all the things in life, and they make slogans. But before I will go to talk about slogans, I would like to introduce some of my friends. This is a picture taken at the beginning of my birthday party when I became 50 in January. And among all my beloved friends and family from the Netherlands, there were some friends from abroad. Some from Spain, Catalonia more precise, and most of them from all the way up north. And I would like to talk a little bit about the north first. And what you see here are three, I would like to call these slogans, but it's not true, it's actually logos. And the first you would see on the left side is the one from a very modest place and very polite people. It's Oslo, and they suggest you might visit Oslo. If you're willing to spend some time up north, you might visit Oslo. Visit Oslo, it's very friendly. And there's modest people. And the other side you see Copenhagen. And Copenhagen is slightly more open, as they call it themselves, Copenhagen, and then there's the open part of it. And it's true, it's very open-minded and friendly people. But you wouldn't say this is really bragging about the city. It's not really like, come to my city, it's extremely attractive. We're the capital of design or anything like that. And then in the middle you see something else. This is the capital of Scandinavia. Like it's one country. And it isn't. And they're very proud to tell you it isn't. Actually, they pretend to hate each other. And then here there's this country, Scandinavia, with a capital called Stockholm. I'm a very happy person to speak a little bit of Swedish, and one of the first words that they taught me was lagom, relax. Don't stand out of the crowd. Be like the rest. Don't brag. Don't dance too much. Just stand in line. And then their slogan is the capital of Scandinavia, which is the opposite of their character, the opposite of their identity, actually. So this is kind of a strange thing. It doesn't capture the story of Scandinavia or Stockholm at all. So it's a nonsense slogan. It's a nonsense claim. So I would like to take you up north even more, to the north of Norway, and there you find a city called Harstad. It's a city, but to our standards it would be a village. It's 28,000 people living there, and they claim to be the capital, the oil capital of the north. Imagine that, the oil capital of the north, and you probably have now pictures in your mind like what you see there of oil platforms. And you have to know about Harstad, that the nearest oil platform is about 700 kilometers from Harstad. So imagine you claim to be the oil capital and the nearest platform is 700 kilometers. And actually, if you would meet my dear friend Jan Erik, who is the director of Destination Harstad, Visit Harstad, he invites you to come over. He could show you, just like he did to us, that there are orcas swimming in the fjords, and there are sea eagles, and it's beautiful northern light, and you can go up in the hills. And if you're from Statoil, and you're having your offices over there, you want to attract 600 people to come and live in Harstad, what would you use? Would you use the story of Jan Erik about the beautiful surroundings of Harstad, or would you use oil capital of the north? And to be quite honest, close to this 700-kilometer platform that is 700 kilometers away from Harstad is a place called Hammerfest. And Hammerfest, you probably never heard of that. And there's 2 times the amount of people working in oil business compared to Harstad. And they don't succeed in becoming the oil capital of the north. So this is weird. It's weird. Slogans in general are superficial, and they say nothing about the place. And one of the worst examples I would like to show you right now. This is one of the latest slogans of Barcelona. We've met people that invented this slogan. It's a complete claim, and they told me, and I have to tell you, I had an apartment there for 5 years, and they told me, Paulus, if you come to Barcelona, you would really understand what we mean by Barcelona inspires. Like no other city would. Not even the other ones on the sheet there, like whole Scotland or Edinburgh or Barcelona inspira. A lot of cities around the world use this inspiring claim. I think most people would consider their own city inspiring. Otherwise, why would they live there in the first place? So that's kind of a strange thing to claim. But if you would meet Jordi Brusi, my good friend Jordi Brusi, then you would hear a completely different story. I met this guy at Cholamyjini. It's a very small island on the shores of Tanzania. And when I met him, it was a small island, and we were introduced to each other. He was drinking some whiskey there with his good friend, and he was introducing himself. My name is Jordi Brusi, but you can call me Esteban. It's a very strange way to introduce yourself, to immediately advise to use another name. And I asked, why would I call you Esteban if your name is Jordi? And he was surprised. You say Jordi? Yeah, that's the name you were using the first time, so I thought that would be appropriate. And they said, yeah, but nobody can actually use this name. It's too difficult for foreigners. And I was completely surprised, because I'm from Holland, and we are used to this name, as it is also the son of Johan Cruyff. So I said to him, well, you probably know Johan Cruyff, and then he fell in love with me, because this was a very, very important person in his life. He was the first person during his life that used the name Jordi in public. Why is this so strange? Jordi was born in 1956. It was the period where General Franco was still in charge, and the Catalan history was completely forbidden. It was not allowed to speak Catalan in the streets. It was not allowed to have a Catalan name. So in the passport of Jordi, and all his family calls him Jordi, is Jorge, the Spanish name. Imagine you have a passport, and in your passport is not your own name. It's the name of somebody you don't know. Think about your identity if you have a passport with the wrong name in your own passport. His name is Jordi, and I call him Jordi, and I'm proud to call him Jordi. He told me that Johan Cruyff was the first person in Catalonia to use this name for his own son in 1974, and ever since it became more normal to use Catalan names. So actually, if I would like to talk about Barcelona, I would like to talk about the capital of Catalonia, which is not Spain. Which is not Spain. And I know this is a political statement. And I know that there are people that say, of course it is Spain. But if you go to Barcelona and you see the parties they organize for losing the battle against the Spanish and celebrate it time after time because it points out exactly what is their own identity, then think about their slogan again. Do you think Barcelona inspires is the right way to promote yourself? Or would it be a Catalan story? To be the Catalan capital and tell the stories that make you stand out from all the other countries, all the other cities around the world. So I would strongly suggest to talk about that rather than this Barcelona inspires. So in general, I would promote to stop the Tinderification of love. I love places. I made a job out of visiting places, meeting people, and ask them to tell their story about the place they love. Because places have an influence on people, and people have an influence on places. So if we do not find out these important stories about the people that live there, what's the point of promoting the place in the first place? So let's stop writing important plans on an A4 note, or make a quick speech about the importance of a place, but take hours to discuss the specialty of a place and then start promoting it. This is all I would like to suggest to you tonight. Thank you so much.